Hey everyone, welcome to the reading for today. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to see what you guys need to know right now. It's a general collective reading. Okay, you're going to know best how this resonates for you, where it fits on your timeline. It could be past, present, or future. All right, so take it how it applies or come back to it later. Okay, so we'll see what's going on right now, what you guys need to know about. What do you guys need to know about right now? Let's see. The Five of Pentacles in the reverse, the Six of Wands, and the High Priestess, all right? And then we have the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So this looks good. This looks like you're victorious with something, all right? You're getting victory here. This could even be like something that you're celebrating about yourself, right? Coming out of some sort of hard times, overcoming struggle, coming out of some sort of lack, all right? This kind of looks like you being proud of yourself for coming out of something difficult, okay? The High Priestess, following your intuition. Which is interesting that the High Priestess is coming out here. I just uploaded, or I just reposted that video from this other channel on my community site talking about that. So let's see, what's the Five of Pentacles reverse? The Hermit and the Five of Swords. The Seven of Wands reverse and the Three of Swords. All right, so it looks like you have someone around you that's manipulative, all right, conniving, backstabbing, sabotaging. They're trying to win at all costs. They're being duplicitous in a way, all right. The Hermit, in secret, undercover, behind the scenes. Somebody here can't defend themselves, or this has to do with being defenseless and hurt. All right, heartbreak, pain, betrayal. What's the Six of Wands? The Five of Wands, the Three of Wands, it has to do with a fight, an argument, and the Two of Wands. This has to do with something that somebody was planning in the future. Somebody was planning something in the future, all right? And this has to do with a fight, an argument, conflict, some sort of competition, okay? The High Priestess. Now, I don't know if this was something that hadn't happened yet, but they were planning this, and you picked up on it intuitively, all right? Which again is like, if you guys haven't watched that, go look on my community tab post. Okay, I reposted this video about the psychology of people that can read people and they don't know, or they know things about people, they don't know why, right? And in my little 2 cents that I put in at the top of that, I was talking about how, you know, in the video he was talking, or he was saying that ability to read people is not your intuition, which I agree with, because they're two different things, right? But it's like your intuition was picking up on something that maybe somebody was planning on doing, and something behind the scenes, I don't know. This is how they thought they could get victory and success. And maybe you picked up on it before they did it, like it didn't happen because you picked up on it on time, or I'm not sure if they already did it, but there was something that they were definitely planning on doing here, okay? What's the High Priestess? The Four of Pentacles in reverse, and that, yeah, you picked up on their plan, High Priestess. The Four of Pentacles in reverse, you picked up on their plan, on a strategy that they had. And now they can't get away. And now they can't get away with something. How interesting. All right, so let's see what this is. What's the Five of Pentacles reverse? Strength. All right, so you have a lot of strength, okay? You can overcome anything. The Six of Cups, this has to do with something in the past, all right? Something in the past is your strength, or you coming out of hard times, you overcoming hardship, problems is a strength from your past. Or the fact that you've had to overcome a lot of hardship in your life is what made you strong, or it's what gave you this strength. All right, so you've been through a lot. Justice. And that's your justice, is that you can overcome anything. You can overcome any kind of lack, any kind of hardship, whether it be financial, okay, or physical. You can overcome anything. Because you have the strength to, all right? You don't let anything hold you down or hold you back. You know that you're a fighter spirit, all right? You can get through anything. Why are you showing me, hold on, why are you showing me the Lion, Justice, and the Knight of Pentacles? Judgment. So this is a nice message because I feel like there's a side note here for someone. Because I was feeling intuitively, right, that the Lion, Justice, and the Knight of Pentacles are not just cards, they're actually spirits. And then, did you just hear that? And then Judgment came out. So this might even just be a subtle reminder here that there are spirits around you, okay? Your patron spirits, your guides, the ones that watch over you and protect you, they're here and they have helped you get through a lot, okay? A lot of hardship. A lot of hardship, no matter what it is in your life, all right? Judgment, they are here. The King of Wands. The Emperor. The King of Wands, the Emperor comes out. Why is the King of Wands Emperor here? After talking about the Lion, the Scales of Justice, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Tower in the reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse. You avoided some sort of a catastrophe here, or you avoided a tower based off of somebody lying, somebody maybe even spying, stalking, watching, gathering information in order to manipulate it. It's like you stopped something from happening before it happened, because you picked up on it intuitively. So they couldn't bring this tower in because you picked up on it, or you knew what they were going to do before they did it, so they couldn't manipulate it. And for some reason, that's really important. The Eight of Pentacles, you're a master. That's why, because you're a master at this. You're a fucking master, okay? Sorry to put it that way, but that's what this gives me. The World in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. They couldn't complete something because you are a master, all right? They're messing with a master and they don't even realize that. They think that they're smarter than you, but they're not. You're a master. And you have pretty significant deities around you that are helping you. And it's like they want to let you know that they're here, all right? They're showing you everything you need to know. They showed you the plan. They told you the plan before they were planning this. And it's like you got the plan intuitively right here in your third eye and in your crown chakra. And somehow a King of Wands Emperor has something to do with this, okay? The Fool, a leap of faith that they were going to take, or you took a leap of faith. A plan. This has to do with some sort of a plan, okay? Or mastery. What's the Page of Cups about? Texts, calls, and emails, conversations. This was a plan. Like I said, there's some sort of information that they got here through text, through calls, through emails, through conversations. Now, I'm not sure if they actually ended up doing something with these texts or if that's what they were planning on doing, but you picked up on it. You got the message before it happened, or while they were doing it, while they were planning it. I don't know. And it has to do with a wedding. It has to do with a wedding, a marriage, a soul connection, an everlasting promise. And someone being unhappy in paradise. Unhappy. Why is this giving me like a wedding with no honeymoon? I don't know. Somebody is unhappy. There's no joy. A wedding, but there's no traveling. There's no paradise. There's no. What is that about? A main female in the reverse at the courthouse. At the courthouse, okay, so something about court, a court wedding, a court marriage, a courthouse wedding. Something about, I don't know. I mean, that's coming out with wedding rings, so. Pathway, the pathway to the courthouse, pathway to maybe a government agency, or a liar, a thief, somebody lying, cheating, stealing, trying to get away with something on the pathway to a courthouse. What is that about? The Hermit, somebody secretly watching something, or somebody secretly gathering information, somebody undercover, watching, stalking. I feel like that's somebody watching you. Yeah, they're watching you on, like, this is giving me somebody watching you on a phone, man, all right? So they're still stalking you on a phone, or they're still secretly watching you on a phone, or something like that. They have something in their possession. They're not giving this up, or they're still holding on to it, or what's that? Self-indulgence, something about being alone, focusing on yourself, being by yourself, taking care of yourself, all right? Shadow work. So text, calls, emails in the reverse. There's something that you didn't communicate. There's something that you kept to yourself. You didn't talk about something here. Boom, right? Bingo. Okay, so there's something that you didn't talk about here. There's something that you kept to yourself. And that meant that some sort of little phone stalkers, they didn't have all of the information that they thought they had, because there's certain things that you don't talk about on the phone, I guess, right? And this has to do with a separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, unsure of future. All right, whatever that is. So, okay, so there's something that they gathered information on, I guess, because they're still watching you, the devil. They're still obsessed with you. They're still stalking you obsessively, okay? They can't let go of control, I guess. And this has to do with an Ace of Cups in the reverse. A lack of love, no love. All right, somebody, a Queen of Cups in the reverse. Something is not about love, it's about control. What does that mean? The snake. This has to do with a snake that's around you, someone that's in competition. They're an enemy, they're clever, or they think they are. They're a malicious snake. They're trying to snake you in some sort of way, okay? And this has to do with something on a phone, man. I'm telling you, phone messages, somebody on a phone. Something about stability, security, talking about money on the phone, talking about something being permanent on the phone. Palm tree, what's that? A community. In despair. A community is in despair. A community is in despair because of a Queen of Cups in the reverse and somebody that was toxic. Hold on, can you be more clear here? Because I feel like this reading is kind of all over the place right now. The Nine of Wands. It has to do with you, the Tower. This has to do with you defending yourself, protecting yourself. And this is a catastrophe for someone. This is shocking, okay? This is a shocking Tower moment that you are protected or you defended yourself because of a King of Wands. Because of a King of Wands? What does that mean? And some sort of an offer? Heartbroken, somebody being heartbroken. Deeply hurt, sad, separation, a breakup. This is a Tower moment. It's a catastrophe because of something on a phone and somebody being hurt. Somebody being hurt on the phone, a phone conversation, a phone call. Somebody here tried to be a snake. All right, this one seems a bit vague. Okay, so this might be a particular reading for someone here. Okay, so now a community is in despair. Tell me more about this, this Ace of Cups reverse and the Devil. The King of Wands. All right, King of Wands, whoever you are, you know what this is. You know exactly what this is about, okay? You know that there was a main female in the reverse that came to the courthouse and lied about something, all right? And now somebody is very stressed out, very worried, anxious, no rest. They can't find peace of mind because of somebody walking away, leaving something behind. The Fool, they took a leap of faith here. They took some sort of a risk to communicate something about a breakup. To communicate some sort of information about a breakup. Someone being unhappy in a marriage. Okay, something about a separation. Now, why is this so important for this King of Wands here? The World. It's because of something, because of somebody taking some sort of action here on vacation, by traveling the world, or online. What's that? Not today. Hurt. Somebody getting hurt. This has to do with somebody getting hurt. Somebody getting injured. The Three of Swords. Somebody getting hurt. Not dealing with someone. Somebody being angry and getting hurt. A fight. Not enough because of someone being frustrated in a relationship. Okay, so somebody here is stalking you, watching you, hacking you, pretending to be you, stealing your identity, all right, whatever this is. And this has to do with somebody taking action to hurt someone or somebody getting hurt, being hurt because of some sort of frustration in a relationship, some sort of jealousy, some sort of anger. The devil, some sort of anger issues, jealousy. Somebody ignoring someone, not wanting to talk to someone anymore, being insecure about that. Okay. Let's see if we can make this a little bit more clear what's going on here, okay? Tell me about this hermit. Who's the hermit? A breakup, a separation. A breakup and a separation, okay? And a mirror. Somebody trying to mirror something here about a breakup. A wound. Somebody trying to mirror something about a breakup and a wound. Someone getting hurt. Some sort of a physical injury maybe, okay, with the Three of Swords. Trying to mirror something with a wound. Trying to mirror something about a breakup. Now somebody can't defend themselves though. What's that about? The Emperor has victory and success now, all right? So whoever this King of Wands is with coming out with the Emperor here, now the Emperor has victory and success. And someone else can't defend themselves. The Page of Cups in reverse, when it comes to somebody being petty, rejecting someone, emotionally immature, okay? The Ace of Wands and taking action. The Sun, the truth is out now about some sort of action that someone took, okay? Why does this Emperor have victory and success here? Because somebody was not in despair. You were not in despair. You were not hurt. You were not in the Five of Pentacles. You were not going through some sort of hardship, or somebody was not. Okay, a house. This has to do with a wealthy man, a mature woman in a house. Something didn't happen in a house with a mature woman and a wealthy man. What does that mean? The snake. Someone here was a snake. All right. Someone here was a competitive enemy, a clever snake, and they thought that they were being a clever snake. So you keep telling me, okay, so you want to talk about this snake, I guess. Tell me about this snake. The snake is exposed. The snake is exposed. Okay. It's something about a breakup. The truth about a breakup, okay? Whatever that means. The Emperor. I don't know, guys. This reading is pretty short, and I'm not really getting a lot of details. But basically, there's an Emperor here that sees the truth now about a breakup. And their intuition told them about this all along. Or their intuition was correct. Or the Emperor now sees the snake clearly, all right? Whoever the snake is here. They're definitely being seen clearly. This has to do with somebody being stressed out, worried, anxious, stuck up in their head, having some sort of anxiety, all right? Even though there was nothing going on, no emergency. There was no emergency, there was no betrayal, but somebody was anxious, they were hysterical, they were worried, okay? The Sun, and now it's exposed to the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands sees the snake very clearly, I guess. All right, they see somebody's tactics, they see how someone is, how someone acts. Because of a message, there's a message that backfired so bad. There's something here that backfired badly, really badly, all right? About someone getting hurt, someone getting injured. Right, all right. Well, okay then. So tell me about victory and success then. Someone now has victory and success here, and I feel like it's this Emperor, King of Wands, okay? And this has to do with someone being a master or an occupation or a plan, okay? A plan. This has to do with a plan or somebody's job or what somebody does for work. All right, somebody here has victory, or tell me about this. The Fool, it has to do with a leap of faith that someone took. Is this a leap of faith that the King of Wands Emperor took? Like you took some sort of a risk and now you're victorious because you did this, you followed your intuition, you took a leap of faith and now you're a master at something? Or the Two of Cups, it has to do with a relationship. There's no more illusion. Now there's no more illusion here. The truth is out when it comes to a relationship because of a plan that someone had, or someone here is a master. You've mastered something, or you have victory and success now because you mastered something, because there's no more illusions, or somebody else had the plan, but now they're exposed. The Chariot in the reverse. They can't move forward. The Seven of Swords. There's a liar here that can't move forward with something. There's a liar here that can't move forward with something, or they're losing control. They've been stopped. They tried to get away with something. They tried to lie and get away with something. What's that? A pathway. Why are you being so vague today? They were expecting something. Somebody had an expectation on their pathway. Somebody had an expectation on their pathway. What was the expectation? That there was no breakup. There was no breakup. So I don't know what this means. Is this like you following your intuition and then your intuition was correct? I don't know. It kind of feels like that. Like maybe you're getting the confirmation now that your intuition was correct the whole time. Okay. Yeah, you've ascended. It's like, this is like a round. Why am I getting like a round of applause? Like, good job, you mastered it, right? You got it, you ascended in something. Okay, you can be proud of yourself. You can be really proud of yourself because you followed your intuition on something and your intuition was correct. Okay, and now you see the truth about something. Now you found out some sort of truth. The Knight of Cups. This has something to do with like, okay, for whoever you are, this has something to do with like leaning into your intuition, I feel, or this is giving me like you got the answer that you needed, or you received some sort of information that you wanted, or you were given something here, but it's like the King of Wands. This reading is for the King of Wands, all right? Why is this so important here? Because of a King of Swords in reverse that tried to get away with something. So you saw through something that a King of Swords in reverse tried to do to get away with something. And there's some sort of action that you took here. It even kind of feels like trusting the process. Like expectation pathway kind of feels like you had an expectation, but you just let it unfold. Like you just trusted the path, or you just trusted your guidance. You just trusted your intuition to guide you the right way. And I feel like you're being rewarded for that. Or it's like this reading is coming out to let you know that your guides see you, and they saw that you did this, and they saw that you followed the pathway, or that you followed the guidance, and that it actually is going to pay off for you now. And you're going to receive whatever you were looking for or what you were asking for, okay? Because it came from a place of trust and faith, and putting your hands up and saying, okay, I trust, like, just show me the way, just guide me the way. And this is like, now you're going to get the information, or you got it, or you're going to receive, or your intuition is being confirmed with something. And now you see the truth about the snake. The moon, yeah, you had to trust the moon energy, which is the, I don't see anything, everything is dark. You had to trust the mystery, okay? You had to trust in the things that you don't see, or things that you can't see, or that there's even maybe a reason why there's certain things that you can't see right now, but you'll see at a later time, if that makes sense. It's like you had to trust in the moon energy, and I feel like that might have been a bit hard for you, because it kind of left you in a weird spot of like not being able to see things clearly. Yeah, being confused, not being able to see things clearly. But right in that time, I guess, or in that moment, is when you kind of have to say, all right, so this is what I'm kind of expecting, or this is what my intuition is telling me, but I'm going to trust in the pathway. I'm going to trust in the guidance, and I'm going to trust in the delivery, okay? Yeah. And it feels like this is like a round of applause for you. Yes, look, temperance. This is like your guides are telling you right now, okay, whoever's watching over you, if it's an ancestor, a passed over loved one, they're telling you that they're really proud of you right now, and you did the right thing. And this is like a round of applause for you, because you did what you were supposed to do, or they saw that you had faith, okay, and that you trusted, right? Yeah, and this has to do with some sort of a fight here, an argument here about the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So, and that's the energy that's kind of here. It's like somebody coming to you, telling you about some sort of an argument, a fight, about a broken family, a breakup, or something like that. But your intuition was telling you like, no, there's something I'm not trusting here, or there's something that is off here, or, you know, you did something here. You took some sort of leap of faith to find out the truth. And I feel like this was a longer process for you. It was a bit of a journey here, and it required you to actually step into the moon energy of having faith and learning to trust the divine, or learning to trust your guides, that they're going to guide you the answers. I feel like this was like a test, and it's like, congratulations, King of Wands, you passed the test. You passed. You can be proud of yourself, okay? You passed. You had an awakening, is what I feel like. I feel like you had an awakening, and your awakening was, okay, I'm going to trust this. I'm going to lean into this. I can't understand anything that's going on right now. I have no idea where this is going to lead me, but I'm going to have faith, and I'm just going to let it take me wherever it takes me. And I feel like it took you straight to the truth and to all the answers you were looking for. And in the process, you ended up also finding your connection to spirit. And I feel like that's even the deeper meaning behind all of this. It's like, it's not just about the answers that you found. It's also that you have found almost like back to a connection to spirit that you maybe lost, maybe in this life, or that you hadn't been reconnected to from a past life, okay? But this feels really big for someone, okay? This feels really big. This is really big. Okay. The Four of Swords. Yeah, it's like you just listened. The Hierophant, look at this. The Ace of Wands, yeah, it's like you, so I don't know what this action is. Okay, we can see what this action is in a second here. But I feel like this is about you, maybe it's about you even praying, okay? I don't know, praying to God, praying to Spirit, your ancestors, praying, processing something, meditating on something, or just even practicing. This is even giving me a bit of like stoicism, okay? Or just practicing the art of patience. Or, you know, reflecting, patience, reflecting, trust and faith, having faith in God, having trust in God, finding back to Spirit, okay? This is what this was all about. This is what it was about. It was about you finding back to this. And whatever this situation was in your life, it was there to help you reconnect to, I feel like, a part of you that maybe you, in this life at least, you didn't even know was there, or you had been disconnected from it at some point. Yeah, this feels really reassuring in a way. Like it's kind of like it's kind of like your ancestors coming to you and saying, okay, so we're going to need you to trust and have faith. And that feeling really uncomfortable for you. And this reading feels like you making it to the end and having that realization of like, wow, I trusted in you and you actually delivered. I don't know, that's just what it feels like. The Knight of Wands in reverse, yeah, something about being impulsive or taking quick action, okay? The Eight of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Wands. And this could have, yeah, it's kind of giving me that feeling of like you wanting to take action, or there's something there that you like, you want to act right now, but then there's this outside force around you that's trying to tell you like, wait, no, slow down. Wait, you got to slow down a second. And you actually listening to that, and you actually trusting in that, and that it's the right thing to do, and that there's a reason why, even if like you feel ready for something, you feel ready that it's time right now, it's like trusting that maybe there's something above you or outside of you that you can't really fathom, that has like a divine order to something, and it would be more beneficial to let things play out a certain way. And I feel like that kind of went against maybe your nature or the way that you've done things in the past. Yeah, I don't know. A date, set a date, meeting someone new. A date, meeting someone new. Set a date. I don't know, I feel like you felt a lot of pressure for some reason. Like, especially with this Ten of Wands here, it's like you might have felt like a lot of pressure, like almost like if you don't do something quickly or right now, then something bad is going to happen. Like you felt like you had to do something, okay? So it might have felt like you were going against your own nature not to act, because you felt like this big pressure of like, but you know, what if I don't act, and what if I don't do something, and then something bad ends up happening, I feel like it took a lot from you to just kind of like not do anything at all and just wait and have faith and just trust, okay? I don't know, that's what I feel though. Oh, look at that. This is what wanted to come out here. This is what flipped over in my hand. Keep a positive mindset, and then you'll manifest exactly what you want. Yeah, it's something about staying positive, okay? And trusting. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like The only way to stay positive in this situation is to have trust and have faith that it's going to work out, or you're going to get to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest here. And sometimes it feels like we're running out of time, but actually we're not. It's like pressure that we're putting on ourselves. And sometimes things feel hard and they feel like it's a challenge and there's some sort of obstruction. And we might feel this kind of pressure to kind of move that challenge out of the way as quick as possible, okay? But what we don't see is that there's almost like a reason that that obstruction is there, and it's maybe to slow something down. It's maybe to slow you down from taking action so that other things can happen first. That's what it kind of gives me, okay? You know, it's like, let me see if I can find an example. It's kind of like, let's say you want to buy a dishwasher, all right? So you want to do this right now because you want to get a dishwasher, right? You feel this pressure, but then all of a sudden your dryer breaks. And so you actually have to replace that first. And to you in that moment, it feels like that's totally an unnecessary obstacle right now because you feel this pressure to buy a dishwasher. And, you know, this is just throwing you back unnecessarily is what you feel, okay? But it's almost like in that situation, learning to have trust and faith that you're on the right path. I mean, this is just an example, right? But that there's a reason why you didn't buy that dishwasher at that specific time. And that hiccup that came in, that obstacle was placed there for you because for your highest good, it would be better to buy the dishwasher in 6 months and not right now. And you can't understand that. You don't really know why. You feel like it's an obstacle, but you just have to kind of have faith and trust that there's a reason for everything the way it unfolds, right? And you could make the free will choice and just say, okay, fine, then I'll go without a dryer and I'll just buy the dishwasher anyway. But this situation shows me that you decided to, okay, well, this is how it is. I got to have trust that there's a reason behind all this. And this is like, you did it. Congratulations. Okay, we're proud of you. This has to do with the 10 of Pentacles and the Chariot. So now you're moving forward towards a legacy, okay? Generational wealth, success. The 10 of Swords in reverse. There was no betrayal. There's going to be no betrayal, no painful ending. Why is that coming out that way? Because of a wealthy man. Yeah, it's almost like you realizing that now you're at the point where you can get the dishwasher, and now you're realizing why you couldn't have gotten it sooner. That's what this feels like. It's like, now I see, because if I had gotten the dishwasher back then I wouldn't have known about this, and then this would have probably happened. And I feel like you're realizing almost like the concept now of divine timing or divine guidance, okay? Or that there's like a plan sometimes that we can't see, that's like orchestrated by, I don't know, some ancient aliens, right? So something like that. The 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is all about have faith. Just hold on to faith. Just hold on to everything is going to be fine, all right? You're safe, you're secure, everything's going to be good. You don't have to stress out. You don't have to worry. There's nothing to be worried about, right? Just release your fear and hold on to your faith. That's what this feels like. So, okay, so you listen to your intuition, the High Priestess. And I feel like you learned a big lesson when it comes to your intuition as well, or following your intuition, or what that means to be a High Priestess or a High Priest, okay? Yeah, look at that. It comes out again. Temperance. You mastered something here. I feel like you mastered your own spiritual awakening, and it's almost like you've been initiated. So it's like, congratulations, you passed the test. You can now consider yourself a high priestess or a high priest, okay? That's really what this feels like. It's like you listened to your guidance, you followed us, and this reading is basically just, it's like an homage to you. It feels like an homage to you. Your spirit guides, they want to let you know that they're really proud of you. Okay? Because you did exactly what they wanted you to do, which was just trust and have faith. Okay? You'll know what you did. You'll know what exactly happened here, but they're really proud of you. You've been initiated, okay? And now you see the truth. Yeah. And now you come out of the Five of Pentacles. Now you come out of hardship, lack. No, now you realize that you're not alone. You were never alone. This is like you realizing that you were never alone, and you're never going to be alone ever again. Because your spirit guides are there, or your ancestors are there, or your passed over loved ones are there, and they're still guiding you, and they're still talking to you, and wanting the best for you. And this is the Five of Pentacles in reverse, is like telling me that you were disconnected from this part of you, and you've been reconnected either in this life, or you were reconnected from a past life, okay? And this was the whole purpose of this situation. This was the purpose behind it. You were always going to find the answers. Look, you were always going to find the answers. You were always going to get to the truth. Okay? You were always going to get to the truth. But you weren't always going to reconnect with spirit or with your guides or with your angels if you hadn't leaned into them and trusted them on your path. You get what I'm saying? Like if you had acted prematurely, okay, you would have still found out the truth at the end of the day, but you would have found it out through other ways. You get what I mean? By leaning into the moon and leaning into God and spirit and saying, God, spirit, or my ancestors, show me the way, show me the truth. And them telling you, you have to have faith though, you have to trust us, even in times where you don't feel like it, okay? This is what ended up showing you that they're actually there. And that is what was the purpose of all of this. And they're really happy. And they're really proud of you. And they're really happy that you found back to them. That's what it feels like. It's like they're really happy that you've reconnected to them. And you found back to who you are. Which is not just someone here in the 3D, but it is someone that is connected to the other side. It's like they're really glad. They're really happy. Okay? So all of this happened for a reason. And all of it happened the way it did for a reason. And it was for them to say, look, we're here. Even if you can't see us, we're here. And if you trust us, then watch what happens. We're going to show you that we are. And you did. I feel like you did do that. And they proved it to you. And now you're sitting there going like, wow. Okay, so this is really nice. I really like this reading. Okay, what else? The moon. You found back to the moon. The hidden world. The veil. The hidden world behind the veil. The moon energy. Everything that you can't see. Everything that you can't touch, feel. It's only things that you can sense, right? You had to lean into the illusion or the, I don't know, I feel lost. I don't know the way. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know what's right. I don't know. It's like your spirit guides or your ancestors, your angels, it's like they wanted, it's almost like they wanted you to get to this point so that they can show you we're here. And if you hadn't gotten to this point, then you wouldn't have ever asked them that question, right? And you wouldn't have ever connected back to them. And that was the whole point. Because this is who you are. All right, so this is a gift. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Something about not getting, not receiving, all right? The Ten of Cups and the King of Swords in the reverse. All right, so something about a family. Something about a family situation and a King of Swords in the reverse. Oh, I don't know who this King of Swords in the reverse is, all right? I mean, they seem to be someone that's very cold-hearted, very critical, very judgmental, unempathetic, uncaring, all right? They don't care very much. They're cold-hearted. Something about your inner child. It's almost like your spiritual connection was disconnected from you as a child by maybe a family member that was not sensitive, okay? Somebody that was not able to feel the way that you feel things, or they weren't able to empathize with you much or understand you much. They were very cold-hearted, very critical, maybe even, cruel. They can be very cruel. A King of Swords in reverse can be very mean and cruel, all right? So it's almost like when you were a child, you were disconnected from this part of you. I don't know why, but the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it could be a lot of like the way that somebody talked to you. Okay, they were very critical. Like someone was very mean, very critical, very judgmental, very harsh, very serious, very controlling, very serious. Okay, the Nine of Cups. The Four of Swords in reverse. And that's what disconnected you for some reason. And that's what disconnected you. And that's your message, all right? And that's your message. It's about you rebuilding something repetitively, persistently working on it. You had to rebuild something. You had to rebuild your connection, I feel like, to spirit, to God, to the angels, to your past over ancestors. It's like you had to rebuild something that had been severed, had been disconnected from you. Well, this has passion on it, but I mean, I don't really feel like that's what this is about. Like each other equally. Okay. All right, so one last message here then for the King of Wands today. The Six of Swords. Now you can move on to peace. Now you can move on to calmer waters. You can leave something behind. You can move on to the next chapter of your life, okay? Or the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, losing family, okay? The Five of Swords. This has to do with a breakup of some sorts, all right? A breakup from an Empress in the reverse. It's almost like, and so look who's at the bottom again. Hello, King of Wands, all right? It's almost like you realizing that maybe in a lot of times in your life where you didn't know the way, or you didn't know how to navigate, or you couldn't maybe even see if some people were bad for you, or some people were manipulating you, or some people had bad intentions for you, okay? Like, it's almost like you're realizing that there is something there that is watching out for you, that is taking care of you, that wants the best for you, and it's something that you can't see, right? And that's important. Why is that so important for the King of Wands? Because it has to do with walking through life without fear. Because you can walk through life without fear when you hold on to your faith. I feel like that is. When you're holding on to faith or holding on to trust, you can walk through life without fear. The Three of Swords, heartbreak, pain, betrayal, and the Knight of Swords. This has to do with somebody communicating something heartbreaking. Communicating something that was heartbreaking. Queen of Swords in the reverse. And the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. This has to do with somebody that's mean, cold-hearted, someone that's manipulative, somebody that's cruel, insulting, stern, earnest, but more like serious and mean. Codependency, a lack of financial stability. Why is this important here for this King of Wands? Because of a main male. And because of somebody being exposed as a thief. And it's almost like, or somebody being exposed as a liar. And it also could have something to do with like, like a feeling of being misunderstood is what I'm getting. Like something being misunderstood, or someone being misunderstood, or you feeling misunderstood. I feel like you see the world in a whole different way now. I don't know. A main female. You see something or someone in a whole different way now. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting. It's a perception, yeah. It's a perception that maybe you had of someone, or a perception, a way of seeing the world, okay? Something about being charmed or used. Somebody being charmed or used. The perception, seeing something, or somebody watching, looking, and stalking. Yeah, it's kind of like you going against the truth for a long time, and then the truth only gets revealed to you when you lean into, like, it's like stop fighting with God. That's kind of what this gives me. It's like maybe for a long time you didn't want to believe certain things, or you had a perception about certain things, or you were like set in your ways about the way it is, or the way that it was, or what this means and what that means. And it's like you weren't getting the answers that you were looking for until you kind of threw your hands up and said, okay, fine. Maybe I don't know everything, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I, don't want to see certain things, or I don't want to believe certain things about these kind of people or this person. Okay, God, then show me the truth. Then show me the truth. But you have to be ready for that, right? And I feel like the Spirit was waiting for you to get ready for that moment, because that's when the floodgates open. That's when the floodgates really open. Is when you're ready for it, and when Spirit can tell that you're leaning into it and saying, okay, I'm open now. I'm open to the fact that there might be things that I can't see, right? But you're coming out of it now. I feel like you passed this. All right. And again, your ancestors are really proud of you. Okay. And they hear you, and they saw you, and they listened to you, and they heard your prayers, and they heard your conversations, and they were there every step of the way, okay? And this is just a little reminder for you. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hope this helps, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time.